Hello and welcome to the Great Lakes Comic Convention here in 2019. My name is Ben Smith, joined alongside Mr. Paul Smith.
And Ben, we're going to be here for 2 days, and that just means we're going to be talking to guests, we're going to be talking to our floor reporters, and just basically covering everything here that the GLCC has to offer.
The Great Lakes Comic Convention 2019 starts now. Paul, this is our third year here at the Great Lakes Comic Convention, and seemingly this event gets bigger and better every year, whether that's vendors, guests, or whoever wants to come to the show, it keeps growing.
So that's why we sent Megan Price outside of the building to check what everyone's excited for here at the GLCC.
All right, the people are scattering. They're walking into Great Lakes Comic Convention 2019. We're in line at Great Lakes Comic Convention, and we're here with Mark. How's it going, Mark?
Going great, thanks. How about yourself?
Good, thanks. So what are you looking forward to doing here today at Great Lakes Comic Convention?
Well, my son's gonna be in the contest, so looking forward to looking at the cool costumes they have every year. Just walk around and see who's there and have a good time.
I am going to buy as many comics as I can. I'm going to look through titles until I'm sick to my stomach.
What are you guys doing here today?
Just checking out the Comic-Con. We go every year, and we're just dressed as the Justice League. And
we love toys. Well, three of us do. One doesn't.
What three? What toys are you looking at today?
Star Wars, Legos, Transformers. What else, Lucas? Ninja Turtles.
yeah, my son's really into the old school. That's what he calls it, the 1980s, 1990s. He just loves everything about the old school toys. He doesn't really like the new kind. He thinks that they're better made.
Who are you here to see today?
Hopefully other Undertale characters.
Is that who you're dressed as?
Yes, we are. My daughter cosplays.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Who are you here to see?
I'm just wanting to, this is my first time actually coming to Comic-Con. I just want to enjoy my first experience and see what I can see.
Coming up next on TV Warren's coverage of the 2019 Great Lakes Comic Convention, we will be sitting down with Jackson Bostwick.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
It's our pleasure now to welcome in the man who first donned the lightning bolt of Shazam. He is a veteran of screen and stage. Mr. Jackson Bostwick joins us here now. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. By the way, it's a lightning bolt for Captain Marvel. Not like
we're
this,
going to get into
this
that.
new.
Yeah, we're going to get into
Arrgh!
this. Well, I'm going to ask you right off the bat, Paul. We got to know this because
And Tom Tyler was the first.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very true. But you're in the zeitgeist for being on that Saturday morning show, and
right.
I got to ask because we need to just clear it up right away. Is it Shazam or Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel.
It's Captain Marvel.
Shazam is the magic word with the exclamation point. Without it, it's the name of the wizard.
Yep.
How they're going to do it now? What's he going to do to, to get back?
Yeah.
He says Shazam, Shazam. That's my name, though. Now, Captain Marvel Jr. says the name of his hero. That's how he got it.
Yeah.
And who is what? Captain Marvel.
Yes.
So what's he going to take? Now, what's it going to be now? Marry Shazam?
I don't know.
Give me a break.
Yeah, that was what we were
And
really
this new
thinking
chick
about.
that's playing Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Right.
I see she got 5 Rotten Tomatoes. to start off with. Why they're doing this, why Marble does this, I don't know.
It's very confusing. It's very confusing to the general
No,
audience.
it's not confusing. It's just very frustrating.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. I imagine. Before we get into that role for you, what got you into acting? What got you into this business that made you?
Well, as I say, I was in the Army.
Yeah.
This is during Nam, and I was stationed at Fort Irwin, which is the Desert Training Center. So you can imagine how crowded it was during Nam, being in the swamps and the jungles. So, well, it guards Goldstone Tracking Station. You have those big discs that you see in the Spielberg movies facing up. It's out in the middle. It's 35 miles from Barstow, 35 miles from Death Valley. So I was stationed out there. I was the head of the medical supply at the Wheat Army Hospital, lieutenant at the time. And I get a postcard in the mail saying, yes, we'd like to see you for an interview for the dating game. One of my secretaries has sent my name into the dating game. So I go down and I don't get the date. I think it was Henri Matisse's granddaughter or something. She didn't even go on the date, So anyway, and they made me wear my uniform. And of course, back then, it's no longer, thank you for your service. It was no longer, I felt a little uncomfortable. I was bachelor number one, so I didn't get it. But I did have an offer from Universal, the casting director out there, Phil Benjamin. And so I said, well, I ain't never done nothing because I was raised in Montgomery, Alabama. So I never done nothing like that. I talk a little bit like Gomer Pyle. And I said, he said, well, why don't you see about getting some training and then come back and see me. So my dad being a neurosurgeon and me having majored at University of Alabama in pre-med, I told you major in biology, minor in physics and chemistry, could have triple minored in psychology, so I'm all set for acting, right? So why don't you get some training? So there, as I said, there were only 2 schools out there that I knew that I could go. He said, as long as you continue your schooling, son, go ahead and try it. 2 schools. One of them that year was playing Alabama. Said, if it's good enough for the Bear, it's good enough for me. That was USC. Went over there, make a long story short, never done a thing in my life, ended up being one of the original members of the Masters Company, MFA, at USC.
Wow,
11 of us. 300-something, 400-something people trying out for that spot.
And I mean, that program is huge now.
Well, the old thing is you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans for the future. How in the world you could figure these things out like this? Just let the energies push you where they're supposed to go. You do that, you'll be fine. The old thing about the guy that climbing up the ladder of life, he thinks this is the one he's going to go up, gets to the top of it finally, and toward the end of his life looks over the edge and realizes he was climbing up the wrong ladder. This ain't no dress rehearsal. We get one shot at it, so
it's always one shot, right?
Always one shot.
So, kind of going forward now, we learned a little bit about your past, how you got brought up into it. So, how did you get the role of Captain Marvel, actually?
I was feeling a little bad. I just broke up with a girl. I had a hole in my foot from stepping on a nail back in Alabama on our place up at the lake. In fact, it was Governor Wallace, George Wallace's dock, that I stepped on it. So I was feeling not really good. So I'd called my friend out at Disney Studios. And I said, man, I need to get another agent. This one's not going to. He said, well, why don't you try Jack Wormsred? And I said, well, I gave him some pictures 6 months ago, and I haven't heard from him. He said, well, let me give him a call. 30 minutes later, I get a call. We'd like to see you, Jackson. So I go down there. Now this is a commercial agent, not a theatrical commercial. I have my theatrical. He said, 2 weeks later, they called me up, said they want me to go out to the Valley to this studio called Filmation, never heard of it. And it's for Captain Marvel cereal. Now I thought it was like, since it's a commercial, that it's like Captain Crunch, it's a cereal. So I go out there and as I'm pulling in, I'm pulled right up to the studio. Now if you're going for an interview in our commercials, you're lucky if you park 2 blocks away. There was nobody there. I walk in, nobody there. I sit down and the producer comes out. You never meet the producer on an interview. And I'm dressed in my normal interview clothes, cowboy boots, blue jeans, and a white T-shirt. Now I weighed 217 back then because I was competing in kickboxing, judo, and stuff like that. So takes me back, talks to me, and during the course of the thing, I realized this is a serial, S-E-R, instead of serial, C-E. As I'm walking out, he tells me, he says, Jackson, did you happen to notice the guy that was sitting down in the Farmer John's as you walked out? And as he came up to me, said, well, yeah, sort of, not really. And I walked by, and I was big then. I should say 217, 48.5-inch chest, 30-inch waist. And Bob said, he turned, and to paraphrase a little bit, he said, wow, now there goes the Captain Marvel. Bob said, I knew as soon as I heard your voice, smile and everything, you would put, but that kicked it in.
Yeah.
You know who that was? That was Mark Harmon. He had just graduated from UCLA as their star quarterback, and he was in the Final Four for Captain Marvel. And that's how I got it.
Hey, that's amazing. I mean,
again,
incredible.
Let the energy push
flows, right? Exactly.
It was my turn.
Coming up next on TV Warren's coverage of the 2019 Great Lakes Comic Convention. More from Jackson Bostwick. Also, Nick Candela with the Floor Report.
My Warren's Family Fun.
My Warren is a fun place to live. Find out more at mywarren.org.
The door locks behind you. A large, menacing timer begins counting down from 1 hour. You're not sure where to begin. You just know you must escape the room before the timer reaches 0. Your heart is pounding now. You are so close to escaping, but just as close to becoming stuck in the room forever. At Breakout Escape Rooms, there are 3 scenarios you can try to escape from. The Ringmaster Den, Game of Espionage, and Zombie Roadhouse. Once you choose your room, it's time for the games to begin.
So once again, we are here with Jackson Bostwick, Captain Marvel. And so can you talk about what your favorite part about being Captain Marvel was after you got the role, shooting the show? What was your favorite part?
Well, see, Captain Marvel was my hero when I grew up.
Yeah.
The Golden Age comics.
Yeah,
I mean, and C.C. Beck was a very good friend of mine.
Okay.
After the show, he told me, he said, Jackson, the way you played it was exactly how I envisioned Captain Marvel to be.
Awesome.
So another reason I'm sort of on this new one. Anyway, so I told the producer, I can do all my. He saw I had a flying sidekick in karate. I said, darn, you can fly without wires. So I told him I can do all my own stunts, which I did. Only one stunt I didn't do was wrestle with a lion.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I'm crazy,
either.
but I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
And the reason I did that, I had one scene where the kid was in the cage or whatever, in the compound. He was trapped there and he couldn't get out, and this lion was stalking him. You know how they get a lion to stalk the camera, come at it? They take a live chicken by his legs upside down and shake him. All right, here is another chicken in a bright red costume with a going to come off a 14-foot ladder and land in between the lion and the camera. I do it, and Simba, who was, by the way, was one of the offspring of the Born Free, Alcyon the Born Free.
Yeah.
Wow, like this. Missed my thigh about that much.
Wow.
And cut the cape like butter. It's a pure silk cape. Just went through it. I said, that's enough. I'll let him bite on my gauntlet, but I'm not wrestling with that sorry anymore. So that's probably one of my favorites, was doing that.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, in the day and age we have now of social media, that probably would have gotten a lot of coverage.
Oh, there's no question.
No doubt about it. Do you think?
Yeah, in favor of the lion.
You
right,
brute.
Exactly. Yeah, right.
Exactly.
And the Me Too's would come after me because it was a female lion.
Exactly. So I'm curious, with the social media age being what it is, how do you think you would have handled the constant picture taking, the constant just barrage around superhero actors that have to go into these roles?
Hey, it was pretty much like it was back then.
Was it? Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were the we were the first as sort of a test to have live action on Saturday mornings. There were 4 of us.
Right.
There was Shazam, the magic word, Shazam.
Exactly.
The Harlem Globetrotter and the Popcorn Machine, Tony Orlando and Don, and the Hudson Brothers. Those were the 4 that CBS were introducing that year.
Okay.
So it was, I couldn't, you go to Disneyland, right? I would have my parents come out and visit me. I said, you guys want to see some, just hang back behind me and watch as we're walking through here. And sure, I'm telling you, it's like, it's him, I know it's, what are you asking? No, in the lines you have to stand in, all it would take would be 1 pass. And there they are. And all you got to do is sign 1, and the rest are in.
Yeah.
So it was fun. It was fun. We did parades and stuff like that until they got, squirrely and fired me, which is a whole nother story, which I won the suit because they were totally wrong, which Lou Schreiber, somebody, a fan asked him as he was coming out of San Diego Comic-Con, why did you ever get rid of Jackson Bostwick on the thing? And he said only one thing. The fan told me one thing. It never should have happened.
Wow.
They screwed up big time.
So because,
well, I won the suit. I was injured. I couldn't have filmed that day anyway. I busted a blood vessel under my eye.
Yeah.
I had the nurse call the studio. They swore they never got the call. It's a whole jealousy thing in there. Trust me.
So you usually come to comic conventions as Captain Marvel. How often do people actually, come to you and talk about some of your other roles that they appreciate you?
Well, Tron, see me in doing that. I've done some lesser movies like The Prey, Escape from DS3, Out Killings at Outpost Zeta. Several of those. Somehow I get killed in all these things. One that was just on TV recently, Mutant Species, a bunch of stuff. But I don't mind. I'm a leading man. Very hard to put me in a supporting part. I can remember who's the guy that, I can't remember his name, Wild Wild West? I was in reading at Universal, and I saw him go past and he came back, because I was reading with this guy. What's he reading here for? Oh, and it was another project. Oh, it's not Wild, no, okay. Hey, good to see you. Walked on.
Yeah.
He comes under my armpit. Same with, Charles Bronson, any of those guys. Tom Cruise, you name them, short.
Yeah.
So, and plus I'm a strong leading man. I can't be put in. Bobby Hoffman called me in, and Bobby cast at Paramount, Laverne and Shirley and Happy Days. He's the one that got me my SAG card. I did the pilot for Funny Face for Sandy Duncan. Anyway, I come in and I played a football hero, right? So I come in and he said, Jackson, he sat me down and looked. The reason I ask you is I got to tell you this. There's a part that's coming up on Happy Days that you are absolutely dead on, perfect for. We can't cast you. You would kill Henry Winkler. We have to protect our stars. Yeah. And that's what happened. Yeah. So that was a big lesson for me to learn that. I did a play with Dorothy McGuire.
Yeah.
They called me back. It was the grand opening of the Bing Theater at USC. They wanted me to play Chance Wayne, the director did, that brought me in. He was a great guy, Alex Siegel. Come back, I read for that. Then he asked me to read for the part of Tom Jr. So I read it, and it was a blistering part that I went nuts on it. He comes back as I'm leaving, he said, Jackson, I know I called you, and John Ritter was reading for it. John, you name the people that are coming back for different parts in it.
Yeah.
And he said, Jackson, would you consider playing Tom Jr.? I need that strength on that side. You'll kill Dorothy. And that's the people that come out here to see her.
Yeah.
In the opening night audience, Henry Fonda, Gregory Peck, they're sitting right down where you see
right.
Rhonda Fleming, just go down the list. Eddie Albert, and I'm saying, and we're backstage, and they're all, and they're so. So they all come in to see her. They didn't come out to see us. The only person who ever, and they told 6 days of running, who got exit applause after his scene.
And that is Mr.
Let them push you where they're supposed to go.
Yeah, well, Mr. Jackson Bostwick, thank you so much for sitting with us. And we welcome you to the city of Warren.
Thank you. Good to be here in Warren, guys.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Coming up next on TV Warren's coverage of the 2019 Great Lakes Comic Convention, Nick Candela heads out on the comic convention floor to check out all of the cosplayers. Stay tuned.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
So we just got a new intern this week, and it's been weird. We're realizing that he's not much of a people person. I don't think it's going to work out.
Every year at the Great Lakes Comic Convention, or really any comic convention, people dress up as their favorite superheroes, villains, or basically anyone they see on TV.
Yeah, everyone's different, which is why we sent out Nick Candela to the comic convention floor to check out cosplayers and what they're wearing.
We are back here on the floor at the Great Lakes Comic Convention, and we have a couple more people here in costume doing some cosplay. Tell us, who are you? Who are you wearing? You make me sound like Joan Rivers. Who are you wearing, and why did you guys decide to dress up today?
Well, I'm Sans from Undertale, and well, I just really like Undertale, so I decided to cosplay as him.
And your partner in crime here?
I'm just my original character. Her name is Ruby the Fox. So, yeah, I just decided to go with her.
Very cool. An original character. So, are you involved? Do you write? Do you illustrate? Or are you just having fun?
I do both. I illustrate and write little comics and whatnot.
So we are here with two real-life superheroes. Could you just tell me what costume you're wearing and who you are today?
Today I'm the Flash.
And why do you like him so much? Why did you decide to dress up like him today?
Well, because I'm a superhero fan, and since it's Comic-Con, one of my favorite days. I like coming here. It's fun. Get to do what I want. Get to find things. Yeah.
Parents get to buy you stuff. All right, cool. And now we got your friend here. Who are you today?
Deadpool.
Deadpool. Deadpool's pretty cool, huh?
Yes.
Why do you like Deadpool so much?
Because he has a cool costume and he is funny.
I am Bulma from Dragon Ball Super. She's my favorite Bulma. She seems to be doing more in this series, so I really wanted to dress as her this year.
Did you create this outfit yourself?
Yes, I even had to sew this last minute this morning, but everything was bought, and I'm really happy with it, so I think I might do it more often.
Very cool. Now, is this your natural hair color?
Absolutely not. I wish it was and make the costume a lot easier.
All right, I am Little Mac from the game Punch-Out on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Then he got brought back into Smash Brothers, Smash 4, and now Smash Ultimate. He's my favorite character because, you know, he's a short guy, but he can pack a punch.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, me too. So I thought, I put on a pair of boxing gloves once, and I thought, well, if I get green ones, I could really look like him if I spike my hair and stuff. So then I got the outfit, and here I am.
This is Mike Wazowski, and he's actually a lot of fun to wear around.
And you made these costumes yourself?
I did.
Tell me a little bit about the process of making one.
All right, well, I ran into this high school teacher a few years ago, and he was going to do a Monsters, Inc. play, and he kind of wrote me into doing these for him. I built Mike and Sully and Randall in 3 weekends. I didn't have a whole lot of time to work at, and it was kind of crazy. I had some help. And then after the play was over, I got to keep them. And I think a lot of people would like to see these and update them a little bit and start taking them to shows.
My Joker is portrayed exactly from the Arkham series video game.
Now tell me, did you make this costume or did you purchase it? How did you get this together?
This was a purchase from when I was stationed in Hawaii. So it's extra thin to last those Hawaii summers.
I'm Star-Lord, the legendary outlaw, you know?
You've seen Lego Batman when he's in there in a robe, he just left a Thermidor. That was that. Went socks for full bad dad and the slippers, but yeah.
Affleck Batman from Batman v Superman.
And did you make this costume yourself, or did you purchase?
I purchased it from multiple different sellers and put it together myself over the course of about a year and a half.
And what makes you dress up like Batman here today?
Because Batman's awesome.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this latest episode of TV Warren's coverage of the Great Lakes Comic Convention.
All you fans out there, don't worry. We're going to have more guest interviews and more action on the comic convention floor.
Bye, everybody.
Bye now.